Good morning, friends. Oh, my throat hurts a little bit. This will be a little bit of a different video because I just finished a book and it's kind of, wow, I look super old. I have hair, I saw it. This book is, I feel like it's a really popular author for sure. I don't know how popular this specific book is. But I finished it. I finished it a little bit ago, when I was in Mexico, but, well, right after Mexico, but I wanted to cry. No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to come on and talk about it because I'm hoping some people will comment and talk about it because it's kind of driving me crazy. Okay, so the book is Verity, if that's how you say it. That's how I said it. Verity by Colleen Hoover. Again, very popular author. Can you tell I just woke up? It's okay. I have a rock star. Also, this is the best rock star. I don't care what you say. The fruit punch one is the best one. Lemonade's the second for me. Okay. So this book. So if you haven't read it, I don't really care if you watch, but just know it might be ruined for you. There's markers on our trees all of a sudden. So this book is about a girl, Lowen. Again, don't know if I'm really saying these right, but this is what I thought of in my head. So she's an author, and she is chosen to go write for the finishing of a book series Verity couldn't finish. She is the original author. Jeremy is her husband, and now Jeremy is searching for another author to come finish this series because Verity can't. At the beginning, you have no idea what that means. You're like, why can't she? She's not dead. You know she's not dead. So she is incapable. Something happened to where she is incapable of doing the rest of the series. And I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 books. So she is invited to Jeremy's house to look over all of Verity's notes on the future books. Try to kind of get inside her brain to be able to write like her. So while she's doing this, she finds this autobiography. I feel like if I remember right, it wasn't really hidden that well, which, foreshadowing, could have been on purpose if it wasn't hidden very well. Anyways, so she finds this autobiography and kind of falls in love with it at the beginning because it's all about Verity and Jeremy's sex life when they first started dating and then when they first got married. It is hot. Some of it gets a little spicy. And she's kind of develops a little crush on Jeremy. And of course, you're kind of living in a dude's house and you're probably going to develop a little crush. Which is fine because Lowen is single. Jeremy obviously is not, but in a very interesting situation. So Lowen finds out that Verity was in a very bad car accident. And that's why she's kind of incapable to do the rest of the book series. But it's very interesting. I'll kind of tell the middle chunk in a short summary. So Lowen finds the autobiography. She starts reading it. She loves it at first, but then some of the chapters, like when Verity gets pregnant, she tries to, what is a safe word on YouTube, not have the baby and handle it by herself. That sign was spinning. Okay, sorry. I'm very ADHD. I'm sorry, guys. So she tries to not have the baby, but ends up having the baby anyways. She is in a comatose state. I don't think the exact words would be a coma, because she's kind of like a vegetable. Like, she has a nurse. The nurse is feeding her, so like she can eat, but she can't communicate. She can't really like track you with her eyes, but sometimes she can. Like, Lowen says that there was a couple times where she felt like she was looking at her or saw her move. So kind of weird situation. So sorry, I just got a text from school. So Lowen starts reading this autobiography, and the more she gets into it, the kind of more freaked out she gets. So she tried to unalive her baby a couple times. Verity, not Lowen. In the autobiography, she talks about how obsessed she was with Jeremy, and she didn't want babies because that would take him away from her. I don't know, it's very weird. Like, when you're reading this, you're like, what the hell? Like, this girl is messed up in the head, even before she was a vegetable. But so, you know, through all of this, Lowen starts falling in love with Jeremy, and they like almost kiss a couple times. And Jeremy has one little boy as well. Two of the daughters died. So she kind of just they become this little family. I don't remember how much time this is over. I remember it being very short. I think it was only like maybe a month of time. But Lowen kind of battles with like, do I tell Jeremy about the autobiography? Like, it's kind of sketchy. Like, so the last chapter in the autobiography, Verity unalives her daughter. They're in a rowboat, and she drowns her on purpose, but acts like she didn't. Acts like it was all an accident because she never really wanted kids in the first place. So make sure before I flash forward I'm not like missing any huge details. I might be. But so at the end of the book, the last couple chapters, Jeremy and Lowen hook up, and while they're hooking up, she swears that she sees Verity at the top of the stairs. Now, Verity is not supposed to be able to move by herself, and the nurse is already gone. So she's like, what the frick? I don't know. I can cuss, but whatever. So she gets very confused. And so they hook up, things are good. All of a sudden, like, things are starting to happen, like doors are getting locked by themselves. It's super weird. And then the little kid is always like, mommy told me to draw this, mommy told me this, mommy said this. And it's like, she's not supposed to be able to talk. So there's all these signs to say that she's not really a vegetable. So at the end, Lowen ends up, I think, giving him, okay, sorry, it's been a long time, but I don't think she gives him the autobiography. I think he finds it in the office. Like, she didn't cover it up very well, so he found it and ends up reading it and seeing that Verity unalived their child, gets mad, like, goes upstairs. Lowen already knows, obviously, so he, like, gets on top of her, starts choking her out, is like screaming at her, like, wake up, I know you're awake. And I don't exactly remember that whole sequence of like how he realized that she wasn't really in a vegetable state. So anyways, so they are kind of trying to unalive her, but then they end up actually unaliving her. I think he chokes her. So now she's out of the picture. They think their problems are solved. Obviously, boy's got to get a lot of therapy because he thinks his wife, I don't think he actually does, but he should, because he thinks his wife unalives their child, has been trying to unalive their child since they were born. Kind of traumatizing. So, then the book flash forwards 7 or 8 months. Lowen is pregnant because her and Jeremy have been hooking up the whole time. And they have the little boy still, Crew. I think Crew was his name. And they're moving out of this house that they unalived her in, and moving into another house by themselves with the baby coming. So while they're doing that, Crew, I think, opens this like baseboard because he was like, oh, I used to draw pictures for mommy and put them in here or something like that. So she finds Lowen finds this letter, and the letter is to Jeremy, basically, again, summarizing because I don't remember exact things, summarizing that she was struggling when she first became an author, and her publicist or someone suggested, because her books were very dark books, they were like villain books, someone suggested that she start to villainize herself and practice writing as if she was this horrible monster. So this is her explanation to why the autobiography exists. She's like, I'm not a terrible person. It was just a writing practice. I didn't actually unalive our child. And again, there's something sorry, my throat's killing me. There's something in this letter that also explains that Jeremy has already read the autobiography before Lowen even existed. So this letter is claiming that at some point Jeremy found the autobiography, read it, and knew that Verity tried to unalive their child and tried to unalive Verity a couple times. If I remember right, he tried to choke her and suffocate her. That didn't work, so they ended up taking the car, like ramming it into a pole or something, like making the car accident happen. And then Jeremy switched Verity to the front seat and Jeremy left. So that was his attempt to unalive her, that he ran them into a tree and then made it look like Verity did it, but she ended up surviving, which was not supposed to happen, and she was okay. So when she's in the hospital from this car accident, she decides that the only way she's gonna survive and stay alive is fake that she's a vegetable. So, and while you're reading this is all like, what the actual fuck? Like, this. So this is why I wanted to come on to talk about it, because while you're reading this, you're going like, what the hell? I don't really understand what's happening. And then it's just kind of over. So in the end of the letter, she's like apologizing. She's like, I love you, Jeremy. I'm sorry, but the only way that I thought I could survive was pretending to be a vegetable. I never unalived our child, but you never let me explain anything. Blah, 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 blah. But at this point, Verity's already dead, so it doesn't really matter. She can't plead her case anymore. So, my thoughts that that was so long. That was 15 minutes of explaining the book. I apologize. And if you're still watching, I appreciate it. An extra comment down below, because that means you paid attention. So thank you. So the thing that is getting me not confused, but just that I can't figure out. I've talked to a couple other people and they're like, okay, so what's your ending? Like, what do you mean, what's my ending? They're like, do you think that all, like, Verity's telling the truth? Or Jeremy's telling the truth and he never knew any of this? Like, once I started talking to people about it, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that I had to make a decision on this. Like, I didn't even realize that there were two different sides. I thought it was just, like, done. I don't know. I didn't really dive that deep into it. So, there's two sides. So, either you believe Jeremy, I guess he has a side, and all of what happened in the autobiography was true. He never tried to unalive her. He has never read the autobiography until he actually unalived Verity. He's the good guy. Which I kind of want to believe, because you do kind of fall in love with him yourself reading the book. Because you're like, oh, poor Jeremy, he's got to sit here and take care of his wife and blah, 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 blah. He already lost 2 daughters. You know, it's kind of crazy. So, then there's the other side that I didn't even think was, I don't know, at first I didn't even think that it was an actual side, because I just kind of believed it. But then again, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it's kind of a choice, that both can't be true. So the other side of it is Verity's side. And that is the side that she was a perfect wife. She was a perfect mother. Why are we stopping? She wrote this autobiography as a writing practice. She was never a villain. She just tried to get in the mindset of one to write her books. That Jeremy found the book. He tried to unalive her. The reason that she was a vegetable, faking to be a vegetable, was that Jeremy tried to kill her, unalive her a couple times, and that she was basically faking it because she wanted to survive, because she knew he was a bad guy and he was gonna hurt her. So, I still have not decided what side I feel like is more true. So, comment what side you guys think is true and why, and get on here and discuss this with me, because I'm so confused. Now, it's been like a month and a half, maybe 2 months since I read it, and I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to, like, I want to reread it again, but I really don't love rereading things because I tend to not comprehend it as well, which is strange, but I tend to kind of skip through and kind of skim the book because I feel like I already read it, because I did. So I'm like, oh, I can skip this part because I don't really need to. So what I might do is, like, just reread the last couple chapters. Because honestly, there is not a real answer. She kind of leaves it up for you to decide which side you want to believe. So it's not a right or wrong thing. So no hateful comments. Don't be like, well, that's not right because of this. It's all your opinion. It's what you want to side with. And I just don't really know, because I want to side with both sides. I want Verity to not be a bad person, but I also want Jeremy to be the hero because he sounded hot. So, comment below what you guys think. Any other book suggestions would be awesome. I am more into the thriller suspense kind of books than romance. I didn't know this was a romance book. I don't really know if you would say it was, but Colleen Hoover is a very like romance kind of author. So I haven't read any more of her books yet, but if there are any books that you guys suggest, please comment down those. Ow, I have a bruise right here. How did I get a bruise right here? Anyways, comment, subscribe. I do want to start doing more book videos once I finish more books, because I'm kind of terrible about reading books, honestly, because I just want to sit and watch a movie while I do something. Like, I'm very much of a multitasker. I want to have movie / sound in the background while I'm cleaning the house or while I'm studying or something like that. So sitting down and reading a book, I can't really do while I'm studying or cleaning the house. So it makes it a little more difficult to find time for that, but I want to start finding more time for that. So if you got to the whole video, thank you, and I appreciate you. And comment below books to read and what you guys think if you guys have read this. I'm gonna upload a short saying that this is what this video is about, so hopefully that'll get some more traction to this video, because my shorts have been doing awesome but my videos have not been. So not like you guys care, but I will see you guys later in the next video. Okay, bye.